section 1. I'm going to test you on the time. I hope you remember how to tell the time in English. Well, before we do the test, let's just quickly review a little bit of how to tell the time. You can see the clock here. What time is it? Well, the time is 1:50. That's quite easy. But in English, there is often 2 different ways to say the same time. Think of another way to say that time. Well, the other way is 10 to 2. That means 10 minutes before 2 o'clock. So there are 2 different ways to tell the same time. And in your IELTS listening tests, IELTS will often try to test you on that and trick you. Right, let's have a look at the test I'm going to give you now. For this test, you're going to have 5 questions, and you can see them written here. For question 1 and question 3, I want you to listen to the time I tell you and write it down. Remember to write with numbers, not words. And for 2, 4, and 5, I want you to choose the right option. So you can choose A, B, or C. I'm only going to say the time once, just like in the test. So listen carefully and let's start. Are you ready? Number 1, 5:20. Number 2, 7:45. Number 3, 4:40. Number 4, 6:30. And the last one, number 5, 25 to 3. That's all 5. Let's have a look at the answers. The answer for number 1, let's have a look. 5:20. We could also say 5:20. And for number 2, 7:45. This was quite difficult. The answer was C. So that's 15 minutes before 8 o'clock, 7:45. Number 3, 4:40. We could also say 20 to 5. And number 4, 6:30. That's quite easy. We could also say 6:30. And for number 5, 25 to 3. That was quite difficult. 25 minutes before 3 o'clock is A. Now you can see that this one was quite difficult because I said 25 to 3. And here you've got the number 3, here you've got the number 25, but that's the wrong answer. A is the right answer. That is very normal in the IELTS listening test, that they will try to trick you, give you the numbers, but that's not the right answer. So be careful with that. So how did you do in your test? Did you get all of them right? Well, don't worry if you didn't. This is not your real test. This is only a practice. And it's better to make mistakes now than in your test. So if you didn't get all of them right, practice. Practice makes perfect. Well, that's all for this lesson. I will see you again in another IELTS lesson. Hello. We're going to look at something that is very common for IELTS listening. In the listening test, you often need to listen and write down a number. And of course, IELTS know all the problems that, and one of the common problems is the difference between 15 and 50. Even for us, sometimes it can be difficult to hear the difference between 15, 50, 16, 60. So IELTS often give you those numbers in the test to test your ability to hear and understand in English. So let me give you a little test. I'm going to give you some numbers and I would like you to listen and write them down. And after that, I'll give you the answers. Now, I'm going to give you 10 numbers and they will be either a teen, 15, or a T, 50. So are you ready? You need pen and paper. Have you got it? Press pause if you need to go and get it. Right, let's start. Number 1, 60. Number 2, 15. Number 3, 14. Number 4, 70. Number 5, 19. Number 6, 80. Number 7, 30. Number 8, 50. Number 9, 16. And number 10, 18. That's all of them. Let's have a look at the answers. The answer for number 1 is 60. Number 2, 15. Number 3, 14. Number 4, 70. Number 5, 19. Number 6, 80. Number 7, 30. Number 8, 50. Number 9, 16. And number 10, 18. So how did you do? Did you get most of them right, or did you get a lot of them wrong? Well, if you didn't do very well, continue watching and I'm going to go through the pronunciation of the numbers. Before we check the pronunciation of the numbers, let me give you a couple more links to some more IELTS lessons just here. Now, let's have a look. As you can see, we've got the teens and the T's. Now, the difference is that this sound here is longer, 13, much longer. And this one over here is shorter, T, 30. So we have teen, T, 13, 30. So you can see there is a difference. So let's check pronunciation. 13, 30. 14, 40. 15, 50. 16, 60. 17, 70. 18, 80. And the last one, 19, 90. Let's check one more time. 50. 17. 80. 14. 30. 90. 19.
你果果，外婆叫喊你半天了呀。抓紧去了，有点迟了呀，外婆等着急了呀。
14. So hopefully you have learnt a little bit about the difference between numbers. Please
你考这么复杂的吗？对，你翻了的，怎么感觉你翻了个屁？那被我发现了吧？这样的。嗯，我感觉你后面这个抄的跟前面有点，就是到这里都写的是自己，然后后面怎么突然变成小明、小刚啊？就是你写到这里啊，都是你说你抱着蝴蝶，然后后面怎么比写成小明呢？你要把小明，对，你要把小明都写成自己。哦哦哦，这样的。地上的孩子们，孩子的，这个后面这个，你说公园里的孩子们，对吧？地上的孩子们算怎么回事？公园里的孩子们没有，你那边，我这里没有，我这里没有。 拿走吧，拜拜。但是你自己再读一遍，那个感觉不通顺，就是你抱着那个蝴蝶后面什么小米小刚的，你看一下嘛。那你看一下，感觉前后对
Please
不上。
practice. It is important. You can get that in the test, and hopefully you will get that correct. Well, that's all for this lesson. I'll see you again in another IELTS lesson.